Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks. Today we're talking Sunday, March 23rd. I'm going to have 5 NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in for tonight's/today's NBA betting slate because it's Sunday. The days or the games are a little bit early. 2 of the 5 plays are plus money bangers. Again, it's kind of been the way recently, but we haven't really been targeting a bunch of juicy plus money plays, just kind of how the board has fallen to us. But very confident in the 5 plays that we have today. Real quick, before we can get into those picks, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which ended up being a decent day overall. We cashed out Kuzma over his points plus rebounds, and I'm glad I added the rebounds because he would not have cashed the points alone, which is what I was debating. And then we also cashed out Dyson Daniels' rebounds, which hit, I think, in the first half or hit pretty easily. That was a sweat-free. We did lose Luka assists, and that was frustrating because I was debating his assists or his first quarter points, and he annihilated his first quarter point prop. Only had 6 assists in a weird game. The Bulls just smacked the Lakers. I think they lost by like 40 or something like that. So an L there with Luka, up 0.9 units on the day. So not an amazing day by any means, but we'll take a day in which we can profit, especially with how this season has gone on. I'm not going to complain about a day where we made money. Speaking of the season, we're up 26.38 units on the year, up 4.77% ROI as well. It's been a slog this season, no doubt about it. The month of March, we're up 0.02 units. So just an amazing month of March that we have had. And now we've only had 1 month in the red. So if you look at it from that perspective, that's not terrible. Obviously, we're hoping for better than 2 units, better than 8 units, 6 units. Granted, I was gone for like half of this month, so it doesn't really count. And then March, we'll see how it goes the last week or so. But hey, we're making money. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not super pleased with how this season has gone on. But again, it's not terrible. But we can get into today's pick. So just remember, like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff does help me out a ton. What I have up on the screen here is Props Madness, my favorite NBA betting tool, helping me figure out what the where to look and all that stuff. Check out Props Madness. I put a link to them in the description of the video as well as the pinned comment. And I'm going to walk you through how I use them. So if you're curious about how I use Props Madness, just keep watching the video. So I do have a play here in this Pelicans versus Pistons game. I took Toby, my guy, Tobias Harris, former Sixers legend, and I took him over 4.5 first quarter points. Now, this was minus 125 odds at DraftKings. Unfortunately, that is no longer available. That got bumped to 5.5. That 4.5 is a pretty key number. I would make sure to keep it at 4.5, which you can still get at minus 130 at Bet365, and I'm not really scared off of that. So I would still take the minus 130 number, which is available on two books. So you're still able to get that price. This is probably the highest I would take it. I don't think I would touch it at the minus 135, and definitely not minus 158 or minus 156. I mean, that's disgusting. So Tobias Harris, not quite Kristaps Porzingis, but he is quietly a first quarter king. You look at the entire season, 60% hit rate, 30 of his last 50 games, which in and of itself isn't amazing. Granted, actually, let's look at the entire season because he's played more than that. It's 40 of 67, so just under a 60% hit rate, averaging 5 points per game in the first quarter alone. So right off the bat, I mean, that's at least, not in terms of the odds, but at least it's like he's averaging over that number. But really, it's been recently. Like, he started off the year hot, had this low here, but you look at his last 29 games, what we're looking at here, 22 of his last 29, 75% hit rate. And then you look at his last 12 games, 10 of his last 12, the 2 times he missed, actually, I wanted to look at these last 8, because he missed about a week. Here, played March 1st, didn't play again until March 8th. So if you look at it since then, he missed it in his first game back, played all 12 minutes. That's good. Since then, I mean, it's 6 of 8 since he came back, since 6 of 7 since that first game back. The one game he missed, tougher matchup against the Heat, scored 4 points in the first quarter, missed his 3-pointer. If he had made the 3-pointer, missed the other shots, then that would have hit, but it didn't. But I still like it at the minus 130 number. It's one of those guys, he plays mostly all 11 or 12 minutes in the first quarter, so he can rely on his minutes. The only time he didn't was this game, actually against the Pelicans, where he only played 10 minutes in the first quarter, but he did score 6 points. Now, speaking of the Pelicans, the matchup is my favorite thing here. You look at the play types where Toby scores, 2nd most points per game in transition, 3rd most points per game in the spot up. Those are play types 1 and 2, almost half of where Tobias Harris's points come from. He's one of those guys that starts fast, especially in a game like this. You're going to want to target the first quarter. Last time these 2 teams played, the Pistons won by 46. Now, maybe this game is closer than that. We had it happen with the Wizards, where the first game they blew them out, won by 20. The next game they actually lost. It was closer. Those were back-to-back games, actually. So if you think that, not that it's necessarily back-to-back, but it's a 6-day difference, if you think that it's going to be a little bit closer, then sure, you could look at like a Jalen Duren on the boards. You could look at Malik Beasley on the points without Tim Hardaway Jr., who's out, which is important for Malik Beasley. Or you just go to Cade. You either take his point prop or you take his assists. Either way, I like this. I like Toby most of all in this game, which is why that is my official bet, is this Tobias Harris over 4.5 first quarter points. That's our first play. Next up, absolutely not touching Cavs, Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, he's going to come out of his slump eventually. I'm not going to bet it. Hornets Heat, there are some looks that I like here. I just want to know who's playing. Both Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo are currently listed as questionable. If they both play, LaMelo under his points is a good look because he's going to get guarded by Davion Mitchell, who is a really good guard defender. And Mark Williams on the double-double is a good look as well. Now, if Bam doesn't play, I don't really know how that would impact Mark Williams, if it would impact him dramatically. I would just like to know, so I didn't touch that game. I do have a play here in Celtics versus Blazers, and you guys already know where I'm going. Kristaps Porzingis, first quarter king, over 5.5, minus 120 odds at Bet365. This is the exact bet that I locked in. You're still able to get it at this price, so no issues there. It's very similar logic for Tobias Harris. It's somebody that consistently starts fast in the first quarter. Now, the Celtics have a bunch of guys listed as questionable. Jaylen Brown is confirmed out. Jason Tatum's questionable. Drew Holiday is questionable. And then Porzingis himself is also questionable. So if he ends up just getting ruled out, we get our money back. We get a refund. No issues there. If he plays, it's definitely going to be without Jaylen Brown. And who knows who else is going to play. And we all know KP likes to start fast in the first quarter. It's 18 of his last 24 games. Since he missed some time due to injury, I mean, it's only been 3 games. So it's like, we don't have that much to go off of, but in those 3 games, it's hit in 2 of the 3. The one time he missed, he only played 7 minutes. That was his first game back from missing a bunch of time with an injury. Like he missed almost 3, or not an injury, excuse me, illness. He missed a bunch of time with that illness. But in those 3 games, 7 minutes, still cashed it against the Nets in that second matchup, 7 of 7. And then he scored 10 points, cashed it easily against the Utah Jazz, played 8 minutes. The 8-minute, 10-minute mark of the first quarter is what we're looking at in terms of minutes for Porzingis. But, I mean, you guys know the drill. The guy just is an incredibly fast starter. And the matchup isn't amazing, but it's not terrible either. Like, obviously, the pick-and-roll man is a little bit scary. They don't give up a ton to pick-and-roll roll men, but post-ups, they give up more. And they're worse in this regard without their big men who have been hurt for a while now. It's really just Klingon is their big guy. They're missing Robert Williams and their other center, DeAndre Ayton. And then the other play types look good. I mean, free throws, they foul at a high rate. Transition, they give up a lot of points there. So the matchup isn't the most amazing thing in the world. It's just backing a guy to start fast who consistently does start fast. And it's like, normally I would want to fade recent results when I'm taking these plays. But, I mean, the last 3 games, he has hit his point prop over. So that is something that would be a little bit scary. But look at the hit rate in the first quarter compared to the full game, right? It's 9 of 24 versus 15 of 24. It's and we took over 5.5 versus 18 of 24. So you see the big difference why we want to take him in this first quarter. So that's our second play. KP over 5.5 first quarter points. Not touching Sixers Hawks. Not touching Spurs Raptors. 14. Well, the Hawks are in the second half of back-to-back. Sixers. I mean, if you just want to keep taking Grimes, that's not the dumbest thing in the world. The Raptors bench their guys in the fourth quarter, and the Spurs are a little bit of a free fall. If I was going to bet, it would be the points for Stephon Castle. He's really been playing well. Granted, if you look at like both without Wemby and Fox, it doesn't look great. That's what I was looking at. But it's really been better recently. Like it's really been since Fox got hurt, which is this last 5-game stretch here. He's over in 3 of 5, and he's shooting a ton. So this would be the pivot, would be Stephon Castle over 21.5 points. Even in the game last week, last game, he only scored 17 points. Took 14 shots, which isn't amazing. But look at his dimes in that game. He had 14. 22 potential assists. Like that's not going to happen consistently. So that would be the play here, would be the Stephon Castle points. No even question that I would touch anybody on the Raptors because they just bench their guys in the fourth quarter. And even guys that do play, the coach won't even have them go in, and you'll get that play refunded at least, but whatever. I do have 2 plays in this Rockets-Nuggets game. The first one is Amen Thompson, and I took him on the rebounds plus assists. Now I got it at plus 100. You can still get it at plus 100 at either DK, BetMGM, or Hard Rock. So no issues with line movement there. excuse me. When I first looked at this play, I thought that the books, like, that there's some issue with their coding, what they price it at 12.5, because that looks like an insane price. When you look at his last 12 games, it's 11 of 12, over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. Now, you cannot look at this and say, okay, so this is a dumb line from the books. The reason why it's priced the way it is, and I understand it, is because both Fred VanVleet and Jabari Smith Jr. are back in the lineup. And if you look at Amen Thompson, he did a lot of the damage with those two guys out, right? We flip that. We go without Fred VanVleet, without Jabari Smith Jr. And, I mean, it's 6 of the last 8. They've only missed 8 games, but he's gone over in 6 of 8. And that's his rebound plus assist. Yeah, and he's averaging like 15. He's had some insane games like 21, 22. Even the game he missed, he hooked on 12. But even with those guys in the lineup, it's been really good recently. And that's the most important thing for Amen Thompson, is his minutes are up. Like last game, everybody was healthy. It was his first game back in 2 weeks. He played 35 minutes. He had 9 boards on 13 rebound chances. He had 5 assists on 8 potential assists. Like, those are completely reasonable numbers and something that we can expect Amen Thompson to continue game over game with those two guys healthy. Again, 35 minutes is the key here. And you look at games with Jabari Smith Jr. and with Fred VanVleet, his last 2, like the beginning of the year, his minutes were spotty, like 24, 22, 29. Started playing more like 38, 31, 39, 32. So really his last 6 games is when he started playing more. It's over in 4 of those 6. And I really want to highlight the last 2. March 1st, like it was really in the new year when he started playing a lot more minutes. March 1st, played 41 minutes, 11 rebounds on 19 rebound chances. Obviously, we're not expecting 19 rebound chances, but we are expecting more than 4 potential assists. And then the last game that I just talked about. So even with these two guys in the lineup, 41 minutes, 35 minutes. And that 35, again, came after he missed a couple weeks due to an ankle sprain. And he still put up 35 minutes. So I really like this one for Amen Thompson. You look at the matchup here, it's probably a better matchup for the assists than anything. The Nuggets are absolutely an assist team. I mean, you look at the graph, they give up assists everywhere. There's no spot on the court where they're not a bottom 10 defense. They're the worst, I guess, in the mid-range and in the restricted area. Amen Thompson gets the majority of his assists in the restricted area. Now, or I guess actually it's the above the break, which they're still bad at. Now, Jokic is out in this game. I don't really think that dramatically impacts them from an assist perspective. From a rebounds perspective, that's where it does impact them the most, because Jokic, with him in the lineup, it's a good matchup for center rebound props because Jokic is always keeping the center around the rim. Not that like DeAndre Jordan or whoever plays center is going to stretch him out. It's just not quite the same. It's not as many shots around the rim. I mean, like the hit rate recently on 8.5 rebounds is insane, 10 out of 10. The matchup is a little bit scarier from in terms of guys similar to Amen Thompson. But again, with no Jokic, things are a little bit different in the rebounds perspective. But I just like combining them, rebounds plus assists. It's a good matchup generally, and he's been really good. And I don't think that those guys being in the lineup should impact his line by as much as it has. So I really like this play. I have another play in this game, and this is due to the injury report of the Nuggets. I took Peyton Watson, and I took him over 9.5 points. Now, this was minus 105. Actually, it was minus 110 at DraftKings. You can actually get minus 105 at ESPN Bet and Hard Rock. I would take it at, obviously, those prices. And if you can only get minus 110, I would still take it there. Reason why I like this play is because of the injury news. Strother is out and Jokic is out. And we'll just go one by one. Without Jokic, it's been 9 games. He scored 10 or more points in 7 of those 9 games. He's averaging 12 points per game. And the most important thing here are the minutes. On the season, he averages about 24 minutes per game, just below that. With Jokic out, it goes up to about 28 minutes per game. And you go through the list, I think the fewest minutes he's played in a game, I think it's 24. If you go through it, 29, 28, 25, 34, 24, 23. Okay, so that's probably the lowest. 23, 35, 25, and 27. So the fewest is 23. And then you look at games without Jokic and without Strother. It's only been 3 games. It's over in all 3, and it's 35, 25, and 27 minutes. So he's probably not going to play 35 minutes, probably play closer to 25 to 27. And if you just look at games without Strother, it's not quite as good. It's over in 5 of 10. But Jokic playing in those games, I mean, one game he only played 6 minutes, another game he only played 17, 16. So really the important thing is having both of those guys out, which is what we have here. And you also want to look, without Jokic, he did play against the Rockets, and he went over. He had 10 points in that game, 1 of 3 from deep, 4 of 8 from the field. So not an amazing in terms of volume, but even if we're limiting him to 8 shots, which I think the fewest he had in a game without Jokic is 7. If we limit him to 7, 8 shots, that hit rate is still pretty good. We can go through that exercise if you want. Let's say we limit him to 7 shots. It's over in 19 of 24. Actually, let's look at the entire season. I think we're missing some. No, it is. Okay. So it's over 19 of 24, averaging 12 points per game. Sometimes he didn't play his full allotment of minutes. Like he only played 15 minutes here. And now this is getting a little bit, trying to make it too much in our favor. But even if we limit him to 7 shots in 20 minutes, it's 19 of 22. Now, I can't guarantee you he's going to play or he's going to take at least 7 shots. I can almost guarantee you he's going to play at least 25 to probably like 35 minutes is probably his range. In that range, over in 16 of 23 games. In terms of the matchup, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible. Transition, the Rockets, and that's where the majority of his points come from. The Rockets they're average, between 10 and 20. That's average, slightly above average. They don't give up a ton to the spot up, but everything else, we don't have anything off of cuts. But free throws, pick and roll, roll man, putback, isolation, pick and roll, ball handler. These last couple obviously don't equate to a lot of points for Peyton Watson, but he's just going to get up more shots with these guys out of the lineup. And both Murray, Brown, and Gordon are all listed as probable. So if you look at him with Jokic, with Murray, with Brown, and I think it's only one game with Gordon, it is over in that last game. He took 11 shots. And even if we take out the minutes filter, yeah, it's the same thing. And even with Gordon, we'll take him out just because it takes 6 games out of the sample. It's over in 5 of 7 with Jokic, or without Jokic, and with these two guys. So even with most of their guys healthy, he's playing 27 minutes per game. He's scoring 12 points per game. So I really like this one for Peyton Watson. I think it's a sneaky, not quite a nasty boy, but also not a nasty boy. That's our 4th play. And then our last pick of the video, I went James Harden. Now, I wanted to take his under points, but it's priced too low. I mean, 20.5 for his point prop is crazy. He's hit that in like 8 straight games. Now, I get that you want to fade recent results, but if this was 22.5, I would have taken the under, but it's just priced a little bit too low because the matchup is as scary as it is. Where I went with Harden was on the boards, and I went with him over 5.5 boards, plus 125 odds at bet365. This is the exact bet that I locked in. No odds movement here. If for whatever reason, but by the time you watch this, it's down to, this is no longer available, I would still take plus 120, which you can get at DraftKings and BetMGM. So Harden on the boards. It's all about the matchup against Oklahoma City. He's played them twice this year, 13 rebounds on 13 rebound chances. Now, I'm not expecting him to get 100% of his rebound chances, but I like the fact that he got 13. Next game, 11 on 14. Again, he's not going to convert that many of his rebound chances, but I like the fact that he got at least 14. So in 2 games against the Thunder, it's 13 and 14 rebound chances. Even if we limit him to like 10 rebound chances, that's obviously an insane hit rate on the over 5.5. I mean, it's 22 of 24 games. It's 27 of 29 on the entire season. The games he missed, 5 rebounds, 5 rebounds. Now, I can't, again, guarantee you that he's getting 10. Now, one thing that I do want to highlight is that both of those games against the Thunder, no Kawhi Leonard, right? He didn't play in either of these 2 games. But I dug into it, and Kawhi being in and out of the lineup doesn't really dramatically impact Harden's rebounds. Like in his last 10 games overall, it's 5 of his last 10, which isn't amazing. But you look at his averages. Let's look at his averages with Kawhi in the lineup. It's still 5 out of his last 10. It's 5.5 per game. But the most important thing here are the rebound chances, 9.5. He averages, actually, we want to look at the entire season. On the entire season, he averages 9.6 rebound chances with Kawhi Leonard in the lineup. Now, hit rate isn't amazing. It's only 11 of 27 games, but the most important thing to me are the rebound chances. And then we look at without Kawhi Leonard, those rebound chances go from 9.6 to 9.8. Now, it's a much better hit rate. I get that. So basically, he's deferring like 1 rebound per game, which is the difference here. He's deferring 1 rebound per game versus without Kawhi Leonard. But in this matchup, I think that 1 deferred rebound won't really come back to bite him, because look at how guards have been rebounding against the Thunder. It's 10 of 15. This is guys similar to James Harden have hit the over. Since the All-Star break, it's 3 of 3. 3 of 3. I mean, Anthony Edwards smoked his rebounds in both games against the Thunder, and he did it right before the All-Star break as well. So I like that. Jalen Green hit the over. You go by position, just looking at the guard position, it's 9 of the last 15 have hit the over. Now, Dame had a gross game. Drew Holiday had a gross game, but D. White had 7 rebounds. Cade Cunningham, or D Wade, excuse me, had 8. Cade had 7. Against the Nuggets, look at this. Both guards against the Nuggets in this game, Jamal Murray and Westbrook, hit their rebound prop over. In the next game, Westbrook had 11, so Jamal Murray only had 2. Now, Ja hit it, missed it, but you see the point here. Guards rebound a lot against the Thunder. So I really like this play for James Harden. I love getting it at plus 125 odds. That rounds out our 5th and final pick of the video. A couple other plays that I looked at just to give you guys some leans. In this same game, now you could always go back to SGA first quarter points, right? It's really good. It's over 10.5 for minus 110 odds. I get it. SGA is a king. He missed it in 2 straight, and then he cashed it. I should have bet him in this game, but I didn't. Guys similar to SGA do have relative success against the Pistons, especially since the All-Star break. It's 3 of 4 have hit the over, and I think Booker had an insane assist game, if I remember correctly, in this game, so he wasn't scoring. So head-to-head, it doesn't look that great. I mean, he's missed it in all 3. Now, this game you can take out because he only played 6 minutes in the first quarter, but still missed it in the next 2. And the reason why I ended up not taking it is because it's actually a much, much better matchup for his assists, right? We look at his assists, 12 of 15 have hit the over. Since the All-Star break, it's 4 of 4. Dame, Booker, so I was right. He did hit his assist prop. Garland and Mitchell in the same game. Look how many assists they had in the same game, 11 and 8 by the 2 guards on the Clippers. Or excuse me, 2 guards on the Cavs against the Clippers. SGA in these 3 games, 9 assists on 13 potential, 9 assists on 19% potential, and 8 on 15. So he's averaging 15, almost 16 potential assists per game in 3 games against the Clippers, 4 above his season average. The reason why I didn't bet his assists, even actually with J. Will out, his assists are still pretty good. It's now you can get the over 6.5 at minus 125, or you can get a pretty juicy 8. Both games he missed, 6 on 15 and 6 on 9. And these are 2 tough matchups. Like, neither of these teams give up a lot of assists. Bucks give up the 10th fewest. Celtics give up the 3rd fewest, and you still had 7. And then the Pistons give up the 6th fewest. The reason why I didn't bet it, to get back to that, you look at his last couple games. 9 assists on 11 potential, 8 assists on 8 potential, and then the gross game against the Pistons where he had 6 on 15. You're just betting for negative regression in terms of converting those assists to potential assists. So that's why I didn't bet it. I just hate situations like that. Now, sometimes asking for positive or negative regression has come back to bite me. I thought that was going to happen with Harden and his points. Last time that he played in general, he put up 30. I thought that Donovan Mitchell was going to start coming out of his slump, wherever that Cavs game is, and he's just been bad for like 2 weeks now. He just cannot make a shot. 0 of 8 from 3, 2 of 18. The guy can't shoot. So the regression thing isn't always going to happen. That's probably been the biggest issue with why I haven't had the success this year that I had last year, is because last year, fade recent results, positive regression worked really well for me, and it hasn't this year. So do that with what you will with SGA. This is basically me saying I don't really know how I want to play him. First quarter points for him is like, he's just been amazing, and that's not a bad matchup. You could just combine. I wish you could do first quarter points plus total assists, because that's what I would do. His full game point prop 32.5. It's just a high number, and I get it. But if it was like 29.5, it would be a smash play. So I don't have an official play on SGA. I don't hate his first quarter points or his assists, and I kind of told you why. And yeah, that's all we got. Those are our 5 official bangers for today. Real quick, we'll do a recap and then we'll get out of here. It's Toby over 4.5 first quarter points. It's KP over 5.5 first quarter points. It's Peyton Watson over 9.5 points. It's Thompson over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. And it's James Harden over 5.5 rebounds. Appreciate everybody for watching. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the description of the video. Link to Props Madness. Link to my Tails account, which is where I send all my plays out. If you sign up for Tails, it's $10 a month. It gets you everything that I'm on. Just gets them sent to you early, so you're able to lock in plays before the odds change. The cool thing about it is I'm sometimes able to send it directly through their line shopping tool. So all you need to do is click this button, and then it takes you to that sportsbook where you can actually go and place that. But it's not always the case. Like, sometimes they don't have it. Like, they don't have first quarter points. So this is how it comes over, right? I kind of give you play, NBA player prop, the date, what number play we're on, the play, some notes about why I hit it, and then a screenshot of the bet itself to prove to you that it's actually a real bet. So if you're interested, check out the Tails. Again, that's in the description of the video. But that's all we got. Again, I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one.